How I stopped suffering because of love? I used to drive an hour to see someone who made me feel like I was almost enough. Not quite enough. Almost. And I'd do it over and over. Different person, same feeling. And I genuinely could not figure out why. Because from the outside, I was doing everything right. I was training, I was talking to people. I looked like I had it together. But inside, I was chasing this thing. This feeling. Like if I could just get the person to stay, to want me back the same way, something in me would finally click into place. It never did. Here's what nobody told me back then. I wasn't actually obsessed with the people. I was obsessed with a feeling I thought they could give me. That feeling of, I'm good. I'm enough. I can relax now. Like winning some invisible game. And the brutal part? You can't win that game from the outside. You never could. The moment you get the person, the messages slow down, the mystery fades, the obsession drops to zero. You've seen it happen. Maybe you've done it. You wanted someone like crazy, finally got them, and then 2 weeks later you're like, wait, is this it? That's not you being broken. That's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. But I didn't know any of that yet. Back when I was 17, this was back around 2019, living in a cramped apartment in Chicago, I was heavy, anxious, and consuming a stupid amount of adult content. And before you click away, stick with me, because this matters. That stuff, right? The easy dopamine hits, what it actually does is it trains your brain to expect maximum stimulation for zero effort. And when real life shows up, real people, real connection, with all its awkwardness and slowness, your brain goes, nah, too boring. And you keep pulling the lever. So I was stuck in this loop for years, craving connection, numbing myself so I didn't have to feel the craving more because I never actually filled it. Repeat. By the time I was 19, I was driving across the city at midnight for someone who wouldn't text me back before noon. And I want to be honest with you, I was not some ugly kid with no options by that point. I'd put in work. I'd changed. But none of that mattered because I still felt like that scared 17-year-old inside. The outside stuff was just a better costume. And here's where it gets weird. Because one day I'm reading about hunter-gatherers, completely random. I was procrastinating. And I read this thing about how being cast out from your tribe back then wasn't embarrassing. It was a death sentence. You literally could not survive alone in the wild. And your brain knew it. Your nervous system had 10,000 years of this memory baked in. So when you feel that panic, when someone doesn't text back, when you feel rejected, when you're alone on a Saturday night and it feels like the walls are closing in, that's not you being dramatic. That's your body running an ancient program that says, danger, get back to the group, now. The problem is, we're not in the wild anymore, but our brains didn't get the update. So I was running a survival program in a world where I was perfectly safe, suffering because of software that was never meant for this century. Then, about 4 years ago, back in the summer of 2022, I made a decision that felt kind of stupid at the time. I cut everything. The adult content, the apps, the habit of grabbing my phone every time I felt even a little bit uncomfortable. I told myself I'd go 90 days and see what happened. The first few weeks were genuinely rough, like itchy, not knowing what to do with my hands, sitting in my room at night and just feeling things, not distracting myself from them. Just letting them be there. And this is where it gets interesting, because I expected to feel worse. I expected the loneliness to get louder. It did, for a bit. But then something shifted. And I don't have a clean scientific explanation for it. I've read the neuroscience. I can talk about the mesocortical pathways and the dopamine regulation. But honestly, the real explanation is simpler. When you stop running from a feeling, it stops chasing you so hard. I started calling the silence something different in my head. Not loneliness. Solitude. And I know that sounds like a word game, but it genuinely wasn't. Loneliness is something happening to you. Solitude is something you're choosing. Same empty room, completely different experience. I started looking forward to it. This is going to sound unhinged, but I'd finish a workout, come home, and instead of immediately filling the silence with something, I'd just lie there. No phone, no music, just me and whatever was going on in my chest. And slowly, I started to actually know myself. Like I'd been living with a stranger for 20 years, and we were finally having a real conversation. The magnetic thing? That came later, and I didn't plan it. I just noticed that when I stopped needing people to fill something in me, I became genuinely curious about them instead. I'd meet someone, and instead of running this background program of, do they like me? Am I coming across right? How do I keep their attention? I was just present, actually listening, actually there. And people feel that. Your nervous system is reading other people's nervous systems all the time, way faster than your conscious mind can track. When someone's trying to get something from you, you feel it. When someone's just with you, you feel that too. I became the second kind of person. Not because I worked on my game, because I stopped being so hungry. Now, years later, I still catch myself sometimes. Some thread goes quiet for a day, and I feel the old thing stir. That pull. That, what does it mean? I notice it now, though. I can watch it without jumping. That's the whole thing, honestly. You don't cure it. You just get good enough at watching it that it stops running your life. The suffering didn't stop because I got better at love. It stopped because I stopped outsourcing my peace to other people. That's it. That's the whole story.